In September.
All right, oh yeah, I'm just working it out. Now you say good times are gonna come. You know it ain't much fun. Will everything be all right? Oh yeah, I'm just working it out. Yeah, oh yeah, I'm just working it out.
There you are. That Mansfield might go on about my invoices, but I bet you she could knit a paper cut from that range with one.
Why don't you lot grow up?
Oh, we're only having a laugh, Claudia.
If Prentice comes in, he'll go spare.
Oh, you won't. He's locked in with a big boss this morning.
We're supposed to be getting everything up to date.
You know your trouble?
Surprise me.
You never have a laugh. I mean, if there's a rush on, okay, we'll all muck in together. But you have to create work for yourself, even if things are slack.
Yeah, well, maybe I want to be kept on when this course finishes.
We all do. There's another side to that.
Yeah.
Well, they want people who can muck in with their workmates, won't they? You don't join in anything. Social clubs, sports clubs, nothing.
I don't have the time, do I?
Yeah, well, I bet that's one of the things personnel will ask about when they interview us.
One of the vans has broken down on the motorway. We're going to have to revise the list for this afternoon.
Da-na, da-na-na. Star Wars Street.
Gio, do you think we can defeat Darth Vader?
It'll be touch and go.
Hey, Gary, what do you reckon to me as the princess?
You look more like R2-D2 to me.
Oh, thanks very much.
Hello, Newell and Booth. Yes. Yes. Yes, I've made a note of that. Yes, Mr. Prentice will deal with it as soon as he gets back. Bye.
Bye.
Know what this is?
A jump jet.
Nah, British Leyland Space Shuttle.
No, that's my son. I'm looking after him this afternoon. Oh, no, there'd be no real problem there. I'm sure I'd be free to start as soon as you wanted me to. Oh, yes, I see. Well, don't you think it'd be a good idea if I came in for an interview, though? Gave you a better idea of what I can do. Yes, of course, I understand. No, that's quite all right. I've only been in about 3 months. Yes. Thank you. Goodbye. Come on now, Jason, you've got to be quiet for Daddy. I've still got a lot of important calls to make. Look, what is it, huh? You're not due for your feed for hours yet. What is it? Have you got wind or do you just want some attention? Sometimes I wonder why I bother.
I've been in with Newell all morning.
What about the company reorganisation?
Yeah, I saw the plans for the new depot at Peterborough. Quite impressive in some ways, I suppose.
Yeah?
They've got 2 of these new word processors. Means a couple of girls in typing pool instead of 12. Transport sections all computerised and all. They've got this machine. It sorts out the deliveries, revises the stock, gives the best routes for the drivers, everything except make the flaming tea.
Ain't science wonderful?
When it doesn't put you out of a job, yes, it is. It'll affect us as soon as it opens. It'll take some of our work and some from Birmingham. Easing the load, as Mr. Newell puts it.
Yeah, but there could be more to it than that.
Listening to that.
I've got a headache.
Getting more biscuits. I nearly finished these.
Well, you could have got some yourself if you'd have got the shopping for me, like I asked.
You moan that I get the wrong things.
You only follow the list. Anyone can read. Are you intending to sit round all day?
I don't know. Don't seem like much point in doing anything else.
I should have thought there was every point in going out and getting yourself a job, for instance.
Oh, yeah? Where do you suggest to start? I've done the job centre, I've done the careers office, and there's nothing in the local paper.
Yeah, well, you can't expect a job to come floating in through the kitchen window, can you?
Got about as much chance as anywhere else, I reckon.
Got the wrong attitude, Eddie. I keep telling you, and you never listen.
You don't know what it's like these days, Mum. It's not like when you were a kid. You practically need a university degree to sweep the streets now.
I don't know where you get all this nonsense from. Your dad and I can't keep you for the rest of your life.
Yeah, let's just spare the lecture for one second.
For your own good, and switch that radio off. I've got a headache.
Look, Mum, you've got to face the facts. There's nothing for me round here. We've either got to put up with things like they are, or else...
Or else what?
Nothing. Forget it.
If you're planning something, Eddie Woodthorpe, you have to discuss it with your dad and me, or there'll be trouble.
Just want a job. And if I can't find one local, I'm going to have to do something about it.
What's the stew like, Kay?
Oh, smother it in sauce and it's eatable.
No long lunch hours today, mind.
We got 10 minutes yet, Mr. Prentice.
He wasn't getting at me, was he?
No. Oh, it's Winston, really. Since they put that Space Invaders machine in the social club, he sneaks up every chance he gets.
He likes it here. It's just the work that gets in the way sometimes.
You're getting on better with him now, though, aren't you?
Well, it's like Barbara says, you've got to get on with your workmates.
You take a lot of notice of what she says.
Well, it makes sense.
Do you fancy her?
Maybe. Doesn't make any difference if I do. Well, she's got a bloke, hasn't she?
How should I know?
Well, you're mates, aren't you?
Yeah.
Well, then, she's bound to talk to you about it.
I reckon her parents sound a bit too strict for her to have anyone serious.
Well, she certainly shot off when she saw this bloke at the disco.
Maybe she wanted to get away from you. Can you pass the sauce?
Yeah.
Winston!
Yes, Mr. Prentice?
Come here. I presume this scrawl is yours.
Yes, it came in when you were in with the boss this morning.
I gave you a talk about this when you first got here. Anything that comes through on that telephone is important. You follow proper procedures.
I know that.
Do you? Well, for a start, you haven't put it in the book. We need that if we want to check back.
We're in a hurry, Mr. Prentice.
Second point, you didn't take down the full message.
It went out all right. I loaded it on the van myself.
But it went to the wrong destination. Now, marked urgent special delivery, yes, you got that. That normally means straight to head office with Baker and Dubbs, so that's where the driver assumed he was taking it. The trouble is that this lot was supposed to go to the Hillingdon branch.
I'm sorry, Mr. Prentice. I mean, we do such a lot of business with them. I thought it would be standard practice.
Just get it all down on paper, then there can't be any mistakes.
Yes, Mr. Prentice.
And if you don't back your ideas up pretty quick, you're not going to finish this course, you understand?
Yes.
Now, one more mistake and you're out. All right? Now get on with your work. Now, the trouble is, kids like that could end up getting us all the sack.
He'll learn.
Will he? Well, he better do it quickly. You know, I reckon the bosses are just looking for an excuse to modernise this place and all.
They'll wait and see how Peterborough goes first, I should think.
Oh, I don't know. They've asked me to go on this course, you know.
What's that?
For understanding the new machinery.
Might be interesting.
You're joking. I'm not going. Well, it's not compulsory, and like I told them, I'm too old to start learning new tricks at my age. Besides, the wife doesn't like me being away on my own. You know what it's like.
Yeah.
You mean you want to leave home?
Well, Gary has. You didn't mind that.
Oh, but Gary's 18. He's 2 years older than you. And he's got qualifications.
I'm not a baby, though. I can look after myself.
Besides, he had a job to go to. It makes a big difference, you know.
Yeah, well, not as many people are that lucky these days.
Anyway, you can never look after yourself.
Because you never let me. You're always on at me about making an effort. And now I've decided to do something. I'm still wrong.
Oh, it needs a lot of thinking about, Eddie. It's a big step. You can't just rush into it.
I've made up my mind, Mum.
I thought Mr. Prentice told you not to be late.
It's only 10 minutes, Kay.
I hope you're going to work it at the end of the day, then. And it's Mrs. Mansfield at work, please.
Well, it just seems daft calling you Mrs. Mansfield when you're my sister.
You'll just have to get used to it then, won't you?
Where were you, anyway? Claudia was back on time.
Well, I looked in at the social club, put my name down for the outing. Well, I'm supposed to get involved in company activities, aren't I?
The social club is for your own time, not the company's.
Yes, Mrs. Mansfield. Was there anything else?
Yes, there is. Don't start getting too cocky till you know what you're doing. I've been watching you. You've still got plenty to learn. And you'll do that a lot quicker if you don't spend half your time showing off to the trainees.
Yeah, OK.
60 people applied for your job. You were lucky to get it. Plus, I recommended you, so if you mess around, it reflects on me, right? I'm not going to let that happen.
No.
Just because Mr. Prentice was out of the office this morning, it seems like practically nothing got done. You were the senior member of staff. You should have seen that they kept working.
It is only my first week. Besides, how do you think they'd react if I tried starting to order them about?
That depends on how you do it. But if you can't accept responsibility, you'll never get anywhere. Anyway, this is the list for this afternoon, plus half of this morning's. You better hurry up and get on with it. And don't start moaning for tea breaks until we've seen a bit of progress.
Makes a change to see someone else getting a dressing down. I thought I was the only one who ever did anything wrong.
Let's just try and get through this list then, shall we?
We've already started, actually. Do you want me to check over what's been done?
Yeah, ta.
Let's get on with Batesman's order then, shall we?
Watch it, Claudia. He's the one who's supposed to be taking the responsibility. He's the one with the exam passes.
How many did you get?
5.
Ooh.
I don't even get one, mate.
Well, I reckon I could have done much better at school. But I'm going to try and get a few more through evening classes.
Wouldn't do me any good if I kept trying till I was 100.
Well, my dad says it doesn't mean you're stupid just because you can't pass exams.
Might as well be if everyone thinks you are.
Well, maybe you just got to prove them wrong.
Oh, has anybody got a ballpoint? This one's running out.
Yeah, hang on, I think I've got one in my jacket somewhere.
I know people who've done pretty well without exams. Got to work a bit harder, I suppose.
Yeah, someone's took it out of my pocket.
You sure? You probably fed it into that Space Invaders machine and forgot about it.
No, it was there when I went to lunch. I know it was. We've got to report this.
Look, you better double-check all your pockets first. If you find it later, they'll only go on at us for wasting more time.
Yeah.
Yes, Mr. Newell. I'll be there. Walter? You got a minute?
Yeah, what's up?
Oh, that was Mr. Newell. He wants to see me after work.
Trouble?
Not exactly. It's that course you were on about. He's asked me to go next week.
Yeah, I thought he might.
Steve won't like it. It'll mean he'll have to spend even more time looking after Jason. He's always saying how it makes it harder for him to find work.
Well, you don't have to go. Like I said, it's not compulsory.
Yeah, but it's different for me, isn't it? Probably do my career a bit of good.
Talk it over with Steve, see what he thinks.
Yeah. Mind you, if Gary hasn't found somewhere to stay by, then it'll be even worse. I can't see him and Steve getting on their own for too long.
Well, accommodation's pricey these days, even bed sits. He had any luck so far?
I don't think he's been trying too hard. Mind you, Steve moans at him if he uses the phone. I mean, that doesn't help.
Look, will you not?
Yeah, someone's nicked £2 out of my coat pocket.
Oh, well, we better get on to MI5 then, hadn't we? Where was it?
Hey?
The coat.
I left it behind the coat rack.
Well, you've only got yourself to blame then, haven't you?
You what?
Look, Winston, you were told when you came here, anything valuable, you put it in your locker in the staff room first thing in the morning. It's safe in there.
It's just typical of your attitude, isn't it? I've told you there's a reason for rules. They're there for you as much as anyone else. Well, now you've found out the hard way.
I ain't taking any more of this.
Hey?
Look, just because we're on a government scheme, you treat us like second-class citizens.
No, Winston.
Oh, come on, you can pick on me for every little thing that goes wrong. We're just cheap labour, someone to shout at. And now I've had my money nicked, I'm not going to get blamed for that and all. Something's got to be done about this.
where's Kay?
She'll be a bit late. She had to go and see Mr. Newell after work.
What about?
Dunno, she didn't say. Don't worry, I reckon her job's safe.
Is that meant to be a joke?
No offence, Steve.
Look, it's not easy for me, you know. I had a good job. Kay only went there to fill in while I found another. It just hasn't worked out yet, that's all.
Yeah, I know, I'm sorry.
It's not as though we can manage on her money. And you don't make things any easier.
Eh?
Food costs money, and then there's the telephone.
But we'll sort it all out.
Oh, yeah, but when, huh? We can't pay bills with promises. Hello? It's for you.
Hello. Oh, hello, Eddie. How's Mum and Dad? Great. Yeah, I think I can do that. Well, I suppose so. I'm hoping to have a place of my own by then.
Great. Oh, look. Cheers. Thanks a lot. Okay. Oh, well, that's made a start anyway. Right. Cheers, Gary.
Well, you could have let me speak to Gary. He's my son as well as your brother.
He said he'd phone you and Dad later, I expect. Anyway, he's going to call me if there's any jobs in the local paper and ask around a bit.
Don't you think you should have waited to see what your father had to say first?
Well, I told you I'd made up my mind.
Just the same. Whenever you get an idea in your head, you never stop to think how it's going to affect other people. Well, where would you go, for instance? You're not thinking of staying at Kay's, are you?
Gary's hoping to get a bedsit soon. Besides, I've got my sleeping bag. All I need's a few feet of floor space somewhere. No one's going to begrudge me of that.
You can't expect everyone to run their lives for your convenience just because we do. We're your parents.
Give it a rest, Mum.
If you want to be an adult, you've got to behave like it. Otherwise, you can't expect other people to treat you like one.
Look, Gary, don't you want to go to the pictures or something tonight?
Eh?
Well, I need to talk to Steve. It's important.
Talk away. I'm not stopping you.
It's personal.
Look, there's nothing I want to see. Besides, I'm broke.
Well, why don't you go and have a bath then?
Look, I'll just sit here and read this. I won't take any notice of you.
Gary,
Pretend I'm not here.
I'm not asking you, I'm telling you. So how long would you be gone for?
8 days.
It's going to be really inconvenient. I've got a couple of interviews coming up. I'm sure I'm going to get them.
Well, I am at work all day anyway. Besides, couldn't your mother help out? She's always saying how she'd like to see
I don't
more
want
of
him
Jace.
shipped around the place like a parcel.
It's only 8 days out of our lives.
Yeah, but it's not compulsory, though, is it? I mean, you don't have to go.
I want to do it.
Yeah, well, I want a lot of things in life. Doesn't mean I get them.
Look, Steve, when I took this job, I did it just for the money, just to tide us over for a bit, and then I found I really enjoyed it. I'm good at my job. Everyone says so.
Yeah, you've also got a son to think about.
We've got a son. He's yours as well as mine.
Yeah, and I do all I can for him. Now, you can't argue with that.
I'm not. I'm just asking you to do a little bit more for 8 days. I mean, if I don't accept this offer, they're never going to consider me for promotion. That matters to me now. We can argue about it. You can convince me not to go, but I'd always resent you for it. I know that, Steve.